burnout is real in the medical field. I just feel like the constant back and forth, flipping rooms, constant doing the same thing over and over, the way we are pushing our bodies every single day, and the charts, the notes, the huddles, the protocols, just everything. And then it's like these corporations, these places, they make so much money and the check ain't cutting it. I don't care what y'all say, okay? I don't care what y'all say. The amount of work that be on one person, and the assistants, the nurses, it be too much. Like, and then you look at the numbers and you be like, okay. So y'all, I don't think we were made to be pushing our bodies to the max like this. I'm talking about a 9 to 5, 5 days a week, 4 days a week, whatever you do to make your money. And you only have like 4 hours after work before it get hella dark. But you gotta have X, Y, and Z done. And I couldn't even imagine having kids. I'm only 22. We were made to do more than the rat race. And I will forever be working towards doing more than this.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
This message goes out to every nursing student and baby nurse who is constantly being fed a rhetoric online that being a nurse is the worst job ever and that it sucks to be a nurse. I freaking love being a nurse. It's freaking awesome, okay? Let me tell you why. Let's talk about job security, okay? You can literally close your eyes, point at somewhere on a map, and go there and find a nursing job. And not just location-wise. Let's talk about how broad this field is. You don't want to work in bedside? Go outpatient. You don't want to go outpatient? Work in aesthetics. You don't want to do that? You could get a government job. You could work for the FDA or the NIH, or you could be like a researcher. You could do a clinical auditing. Like you could work from home. There are so many opportunities that you can take as a nurse. Not only that, let's talk about scheduling. Okay. Right now I'm a traveler, and so I'm working 5/8 at an outpatient clinic. It's not my favorite, but it's not the worst. But when I was working inpatient, working 3/12s, there was a point where I literally had 17 days off in a row and I only used 3 days of PTO. What other job can you do that in? Literally, what other job can you do that in? You could take a vacation once a month. And you don't even have to take PTO off sometimes. Like, you could literally get 8 days off in a row and take off no PTO. It's awesome. Not to mention the fact, if you are a people person and you became a nurse because you like to take care of people, you are my favorite.
Why do some nurses normalize the abnormal? Please answer that question for me. That shit irks my fucking soul. I hate when I get a report from somebody and they be like, oh, well, he's been like that all day. Why is it normal to sustain a heart rate in the 140s? He's been like that all day, babe. But when he came in, his shit was in the 80s. And all of a sudden, all day motherfucking long, his shit been in the 140s. And you ain't did shit because he's been like that all day. But babe, his hemoglobin is 6.8. You gave 1 unit of blood and you didn't do a repeat. He's hypotensive. He's shitting out black fucking stools. What are we doing here? I hate that shit. He's been like that all day. I hate that shit. I swear to God.
I just reposted a video regarding a fat nurse taking care of patients, and it was saying something to the degree of, if you're fat, you shouldn't take care of patients. Do you know why so many of us are fat? Our stress levels are off the chart. Off the chart. Our cortisol levels are crazy. We're dealing with how many patients, crazy hours. A person like me, where I work 2 jobs as a nurse and a nurse supervisor, our stress levels are off the hook. We don't get to eat properly. So when we do get home, we're vacuuming in as much food and everything in front of us because we're starving and dehydrated from taking care of you all day. Because not only are we the nurse, we're the housekeeper, we're administrative, we are secretarial, we are maintenance, we are housekeeping, we are social work.
I haven't sat in my car and wanted to cry after a shift since I was a baby nurse. And that makes me want to cry even more. But I'm literally just so overwhelmed and frustrated because I didn't have support at work today. And I know I wasn't as good of a nurse that I could have been because I was floated and I'm a CVICU nurse. I'm used to having 1 to 2 patients, but I had 5 patients and I'm literally my second week on this travel nurse contract. I have no idea what kind of charting that is required yet. Like, I haven't fully picked it up yet. Like, I'm a lot slower than average, but I'm also faster than the average travel nurse on a 2-week assignment because I'm used to the system of charting. It's just like getting to know what they want and all that. And like, I'm getting admits left and right and I'm asking for help and like, how do you admit someone? And they just give me a piece of paper that I'm supposed to follow, but it's like, that's so much more time than ever than if you would just sit here with me. And I just am overwhelmed because I'm 2 weeks on this contract and I've worked some crappy contracts. I can take it, but when I feel like I'm not supported, it just makes me just feel so freaking overwhelmed. And I care so much about patients and I want to do things. I want to clean them. I want to make them feel human. And I just didn't have time, but I still did it. And then I didn't get everything done. I ate my freaking breakfast at 1 something. I'm just overwhelmed. And I think I'm more overwhelmed because this can't be this entire contract. Like, I can't do this for 13 weeks. And like, nobody wanted to help me. And everybody looked at me like I was the stupid one. And I know I'm a good nurse. But yet, I'm a traveler, and so people want to crap on us. And I love being a traveler. There's so many perks, but I just don't like this. Like, this culture, this place just really, really sucks. And they just... Like, I've never taken 5 patients in my career. But yet, I'm a traveler, so I have to take 5 patients. And I'm just overwhelmed. And I left an hour later than I'm supposed to. And I still don't feel like I did enough today. And I have 1 day off, and then I come back, and I'll probably be floated, because I've gotten floated every day that I've been on my own on this contract. It just really sucks. Yes, there's days as a nurse that I feel like I've won, and I've changed someone's life. And I can take care of me, and I go to the gym after, and all that. And then there's days like this where all I want to do is cry. And it's not anything other than I don't feel supported. Like, if I would have felt like I had a helping hand, if the culture would have been positive, we would have been fine. This is why nurses leave the bedside, and it sucks. But that's also why sometimes it's not you, it's the place you're at. And so if you feel burnt out, try leaving. Just try going to a different place, because genuinely, I don't think I would last as a nurse at this hospital. Like, if I knew I wasn't counting my days until I was out of here, like, I don't know how people do this. This culture, this overworkingness, this... God, I don't know. From the girl that has a lot of dang good days, I just wanted to show you my bad day, too.
It's time to rant. Please stop becoming a nurse if you don't care. Please stop becoming a nurse if you're not in it with your heart. Please do not become a nurse if you are in it for the money or for the job security. Please don't, because a nurse like me who works with their heart is gonna call your ass out on it. For real. I'm not okay with that. Do not treat these patients like they do not matter, or they had an option to be in the position that they're in, because they didn't. And I'm gonna call you out on it. Because each one of my patients, they know I act with my heart. You're gonna get the best of me when I am your nurse. But then I get somebody coming in on night shift where y'all just around and you bring a blanket to work and you don't give a fuck what's going on with these people. That's not fair. That's not fair to them, and that's not fair to me, because I can only be there for so long and care for them, and they deserve the best care around the clock. So please, if you are a new grad, or you are in nursing school, or you are becoming a RN or an LPN at this point, please check yourself before you walk into the front of the hospital or into a patient's room. Please do, because if you don't check yourself, I will. Thank you.
Because I haven't been working as a nurse for a little bit, I have time to think about things, really process how effed up some shit was. Something that really bothers me is how I will be in the patient's room doing like an assessment, doing admission, whatever it may be. And the provider will just walk right in and be like, okay, well, blah, 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 blah. Whenever we want to go into a patient's room, if the PT's in there, OT's in there, doctor's in there, respiratory therapist, we're so respectful. We'll wait. Like, I'm not going to go in there and be like, 1 second, doctor, like, can you come back? I'm the one who comes back, even if what I have to do is like stat. So the fact that whenever I'm doing something and the doctors will come in with no regard to what nurses are doing, not once in my 4 months working has a doctor been like, oh, I'll come back. Like, I'll come back if you're busy. It's always me. Like, whatever I need to do is more important than you. And that's always bothered me. Like, can you learn some manners?
Something I wish that someone would have told me, and I wouldn't have had to learn this the hard way when I was a new grad, is to get everything in writing. And who am I talking about? Nurse manager, your scheduler, anybody who is putting you into work. When they catch you in the hall and they're like, hey, can you pick up on Friday? And you're like, sure, I can pick up on Friday. No, don't do that. Be like, hey, can you text me that? I have to think about it. That's always a response. Or if you do like automatically like think, oh yeah, I could pick up on Friday, text them, say, just to verify I'm picking up on this date. Is this what you have me down for? Always get it in writing. Nurse managers and schedulers have so much pressure on them from the hospital. And a lot of times nurse managers are getting bonuses at the end of the year by keeping their units running as tight as possible and not paying for extra staffing and not having to use incentives. So they're like very incentivized. This is not everywhere, but it's like just the system, unfortunately. That's one of the reasons the units are always running so short too, because like they're incentivized to keep it short. That's why they're harassing you when it's a little too tight and they're like, hey, can you pick up? Hey, can you pick up? But you gotta stay on your fucking toes. I was a new grad. There was so many times where they would just like catch me in the hall, like, hey, could you pick up? And I would say like, oh yeah, or oh no. But then I would get called on days that I wasn't scheduled, and I knew that I wasn't scheduled, and they were like, hey, you said you'd pick up, you're on the schedule. And even if you do get it all in writing, you still could get effed over. Even recently, I had a text, they had asked me like, hey, can you pick up this date? And I said no, but I could offer this date. And I sent that, and they put me down for the day that they asked me if I could pick up, and there was a paper trail. So just always get everything in writing, always confirm with the text, make sure there's a paper trail so that when they try to catch you or get you or whatever cover themselves, you can send a screenshot and be like, this is the text.
That is really good advice, honestly. I think that it is important to get everything in writing, and everyone is for themselves pretty much, right? So like always cover your behind, because other people will easily throw you under the bus when it is most convenient for them. It's human nature, so yeah. A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
It's been 3 months since I quit my nursing job at a neurosurgery unit. And why I quit that job? Let's talk about it. I quit because I'm all about healing. I'm here to heal the people. But I quickly came to realize that it wasn't in the way of nursing. It wasn't in the way of Western medicine, because the things that I was giving my patients in medication had a lot of side effects, had a lot of more complications than the things they're trying to use to fix the issue. Not only with the patients, but even myself. Like, it came to a point where like it was so toxic, it was such a hazardous environment for me that it was affecting my own health. I could physically feel my body breaking down because of the constant stress, because of the long hours, because of this labor, having multiple patients and trying to take care of them all at once. And these are critically sick patients, having to take care of them all at the same time. Not only dealing with that, but on top of that, you also have to deal with toxic coworkers. Nobody talks about this part. You would think that everyone on the nurses station are here to help people, are friendly, are kind, but no. These people are here to start drama. These people are here to spread rumors. Like, I cannot tell you how many times a rumor has been spread about me over the smallest things. It's crazy. And just imagine going into a workplace, dreading going because of toxic coworkers, not helpful coworkers. If you ask people for help, they will shame you. Because I started my residency here, I was a new nurse, and I was asking for assistance, and they were looking at me like, oh, you don't know how to start an IV correctly? Oh, you don't know how to suction a trach? I know how to do these things. I just want assistance. I just want you to be there and ensure I'm doing it correctly, because something goes wrong, it's my fault. I'm the one who's going to be punished. I'm the one who's going to be suffering the consequences. So all of that to say, it is not worth for me being in that type of environment, being in that type of situation. So I just left cold turkey. I had to go. I had to escape that place. It felt like a jail cell. It felt like a hellhole. I absolutely woke up dreading anything about work, dreading anything about my job, dreading anything about nursing. Like it just brought so much anger, so much rage within me, and that's not healthy, because I'm here to help. I'm here to heal people, and being in that environment was not healthy, and it wasn't healing at all. And I had to take myself out of that situation, had to take myself out of that environment. So I had to step back and really reconsider what I need to do in my life, and really consider, like, okay, how am I going to heal people? Because there's different ways of healing. You don't have to be a doctor or a nurse to heal people. You can heal people in any and every type of way. So I have to figure out, what exactly am I supposed to do, and how do I do this to heal people and build my community? So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm building my platform, to help people who are ready to heal energetically, ready to heal those traumas, those triggers, these things in your mind, these negative thought patterns, these habits that you have that you're probably not even aware of them, and how to really incorporate that into your spirituality for you to heal, grow, and evolve. That's what my platform is all about. And I'm using my own experiences and how I overcame many trials in my life, and using that to help you who are also in the same situation. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, I just got off work. I'm dead tired. Like, tired. If I had to work tomorrow, I'm calling off tired. Thank God I don't. But I'm just sitting here reflecting, like, listen, I've been a nurse for like 3.5 years now. And I remember in 2018, 2019, when I was in nursing school, stressed and struggling. And I would go on YouTube, because I don't think TikTok was popping in. But I would go on YouTube and I would look up all the other girlies that's in nursing school, had their cute little scrubs on and they little stethoscopes, and be like, oh, you should be a nurse because, girl, I be fucking tired. I mean, I be dead tired. Them patients wear me out, baby. I be like, this what I signed up for? Baby, you couldn't pay me all them years ago to go to nurse school if you gave me a real day in the life as a nurse. I'm going to say a real 2 week in the life as a nurse, because then I would have got the real full experience. Like, because even when I went to clinicals, I was excited, like, oh, yeah, y'all see me? Yeah, I'm in nursing school. Can I take your vitals? Oh, I'm in nursing school. Can I give you these meds? Child. Today's age, what my tech? Can you go get them vitals for me, please? Yeah, they got these bathroom too. Yeah. I be tired. I mean, now, I'm not going to lie. I don't regret becoming a nurse, but baby, I be tired. It ain't what it all cracked up to be. It's not. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you right now. That nurse is not real. But no, for real, I be tired. But to all the girls and guys that are in nursing school or thinking about nursing school, go for it, because it is a great career decision. I be crying at work, not like tears, but like complaining, but I do not regret my job decision. But I be tired. I be tired. I be tired. But no, it is a good career, great advancement opportunities. You know, travel with the travel nursing. Everybody want to be a travel nurse. You can do travel nursing. You can do PRN nursing. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. If you don't like this career, or not career, but if you don't like this specialty, there's always other specialties. you can have your hand in some of everything. If you don't like bedside, you don't got to do bedside. You could do behind the scenes. You could do, the little computer part. There's so many different opportunities that you could do as a nurse. I don't regret it for one bit, but baby, I be tired. I'm tired. Yeah. But that's it. I'm about to go ahead and wash today's clothing off of me from work, and take it in because I am beat. Bye.
Well, at least she's honest about being extremely tired at work. And it's with like any other job role. After a few years, like you would just be extremely tired. The stress, the whole physical toll on you. Nursing is a great career path. It has great pay, great benefits, and opportunities. So yeah.
Well, I just got fired. And I guess I'm making this video for any healthcare workers out there who feel like their boundaries are constantly being threatened by their employer. I guess just to encourage you to stand up for yourself because no one else is going to. I was hired into my position with the understanding that I would work 4 10-hour shifts Monday through Friday and have no weekends, no on-call, and no holidays. And then over the course of, I've been there for like 8 months. Over the course of 8 months, they slowly changed those requirements. So first they added weekends. So I've been on an every third weekend rotation for pretty much the entire 8 months. Maybe 2 months after I started that we started doing weekends. And then they started adding in a holiday rotation. And then on Christmas Day this year tried to schedule me to work an on-call shift. And I called my boss and said, hey, I'm not supposed to work on call. I'm an admission nurse. So I work admissions. And my understanding was that I was only supposed to be working admissions for the holiday. I don't work on call. It's something that I have a lot of experience in, and it's something I don't like doing. And I made an agreement with myself a long time ago, like if I'm going to have to be a nurse and I'm going to have to do this work in this healthcare system that I don't agree with and does not feel right for me, I am not going to make myself be on call. That's why I took this position in the first place. So I was scheduled for an on-call position for Christmas Day. I refused to work that shift. My boss and I went back and forth over the phone on Christmas Eve night a little bit, and I felt like she finally saw my point of view, like this was not what I was hired to do. These expectations have changed, and I'm not going to be held accountable for a change that was not communicated to me. So she said basically like, don't worry about it, we'll get it covered, and let's meet Thursday. So I go in today, and I anticipate that she is going to come to me with some sort of plan on how to like I guess I don't know what I expected, but what I didn't expect was for her to basically say, well, going forward you're going to be expected to do anything that we ask you to do during your working hours, even though you hired in to be an admission nurse. And if you are telling me that you're not going to work on call, which I have vehemently insisted the entire time I am not going to do, I'm not going to be on call, then we'll have to talk to HR and figure out what the next steps are. And then she called me half an hour later and fired me over the phone. And my initial reaction after the termination was to feel guilty, was to take it upon myself, like, oh, I made too big of a deal about this. I could have just worked that on-call shift and life would have gone on, right? But the more I think about it and the more I've sat with it today, I'm proud of myself for honoring my own boundaries, those boundaries that I set up within my own body to be like, this is what I'm willing to do and this is what I'm not willing to do. And so I'm proud of myself for honoring that. And I'm really leaning into trusting in the divine timing of this, trusting that this was supposed to happen this way, that a new opportunity is going to present itself to me that's going to make sense why this has happened this way. And ultimately, this was the right time to step out of this position if this is the way that these leaders are going to behave. So again, I don't really know what the point of this video is other than to encourage you, if you are facing something similar in your own work life, to stand up for yourself, even if it means you have to look somewhere else for employment. And please don't come at me in the comments with like, oh, but you can probably afford to take time off, but da 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 da. No, I can't. I'm worried about money. But I'm also not going to put myself through on call because I know how it makes me feel. I know the severe anxiety and PTSD that I have from it, and I'm simply not going to make myself go through that again. Period.
I'm just going to ask this question for my nurses in the house, this in healthcare. Is there like an internal beef between RPNs and RNs? Because like so many times I've experienced like this, I think this internal beef where like there's a struggle for who should do what. There's a struggle of like, what are the things that we're supposed to do? What are your responsibilities? What are your roles? And, I don't know, I just thought to talk about it because I know that I'm not the only one that's actually feeling this or noticed this struggle. So I'm just going to share my story. There was a time I was working, I was working at a nursing home where, like we had the RNs and the RPNs. So basically the roles are like the RPNs, basically just in that particular home, they would administer medications, just really take care of like the basic needs of the clients or the residents. If they're not eating properly, you just go there and ask them, hey, why are you not eating? Or just kind of make basic observations. And there was this day I was in a nursing station. I already did my medications and all of it. And then like there was a family member that came up to the nursing station. So the RN was there, I was there as well. And she's like, oh, I'm looking for the nurse. And this RN, like, I think the family member looked at me because she actually saw me like in that area actually administering pills. So she's like, oh yeah, this is the nurse. So she looked at me when she's like, oh, I want to talk to the nurse. And then the RN just responded, oh, I am the nurse. And then she's like, oh, what about her? And then she's like, that's the medication nurse. Okay, for a minute I was just like, I don't know if that's like a way of, I didn't know, like in my mind I'm like, why would you say that? I mean, what do you mean by medication nurse? Because like you RNs also do medication, so just they also like administer medication. So what do you mean by that's the medication nurse? So are you actually insinuating that I cannot talk to family members, I cannot attend to the the immediate needs of like a family member if they have a complaint? But was just like, oh, that's a medication nurse, like, oh, she's just I don't know, maybe, I don't know, in my head it was just like did not sound right to me. And I really think that there's just this whole confusion between our roles, right? And I think that one of the reasons why there is this confusion is because that different communities or different organizations actually have different ways to conduct things. Like when I was working in my first nursing home I was working at, I was concerned with like, it was a 2-floor nursing home. We had the RN at the basement floor, and then I was actually at the upper floor. And everything that had to do with those residents on that upper floor, I was concerned with it. Like family members would come to meet me because I was the one on that floor every single day. I would talk to family members, I would talk to the doctors, I would like get verbal orders, and I would do a lot of things that like when I went into another nursing home, it was totally different. They had this distinction where like the RNs would basically talk to the doctor. That's the only person that talks to the doctor. If a family member comes onto the floor and wants to see the nurse, she can't, I don't know, maybe I'm not allowed to give information about like about the patients to the family members, just the RNs. It was just like, I don't know, like this is just so it was so confusing to me when I started in this with the nursing home I was working with, like, and I just couldn't understand, like, why would I just be put to just give medications, like any serious, I know that I went to school for 2 years to do more than just giving medications. Like I actually learned the act of talking to family members because you are also like, they are also like part of your caseload. You're also tending to the family members as well as you're tending to the residents. So why do I have to like why don't I talk to the family members the way that, because most of the times the RNs are mostly like, you know, they're concerned about things that are more that are more, let me say, urgent, or more like maybe someone being unconscious and all of that. And I don't know, but like I didn't just find it very nice for the RN to actually say, oh, that's a medication nurse, because I'm like, I don't know, I just found it very like not nice. So, well, for the nurses in the house, tell me your experiences. I have a lot to say about this. And I mean, I also think that the reason why we have this is because most of our RNs, the people that actually go for RNs, they all go straight for the 4-year nursing program. We have a few nurses who actually go from RPN to RNs, and sometimes like the scope of practice of the RPNs are not really emphasized on the RNs to know that, oh yeah, like this nurse can actually do this, we can actually do injection, we can talk to family members, we have like things that we can do. And then you probably feel like we can't do it because you feel like 2 years, I don't know, but we wrote an exam, we did extensive classes as well. So like I think that we should be giving that space to do what we're supposed to do, and the RNs as well do what they're supposed to do. I think that it should be like an informed like distinction between like the roles of the RPNs and the roles of an RN, because like it's great that different organizations have their own specific way of doing things, but I think that those roles should be emphasized more so that we are really aware of what we are doing on the floor. I don't know, just me. Share your experiences. If you feel like I'm just blabbing, or you just feel like this is not something that happens, or you've noticed it, let me know like what your experiences are about this. Okay?
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.